All right, let me do part two to that episode. There are a lot of women that wish to God they did not have kids by the person they had kids with. There are a lot of women who they don't have any help by the other side of the family at all. There are mothers that when it comes to the baby daddies that will say you trapped that man, and that is not even what happened at all. There are women that got pregnant because the condoms broke, and it wasn't because they were irresponsible. Or birth control, it just got on birth control and ended up pregnant. So there are a lot of women that did not get pregnant because they let a man decide to skeet skeet. That is not how that happened. Okay? There are a lot of girls that were very cautious, had no intentions of having children, and they ended up having babies. Now, mind you, like I said, a lot of men at first will act one of two ways. They don't want the baby, they want you to abort it. You decide you want to have the baby. Well, guess what? When you have the baby, he ain't going to want nothing to do with it. You're going to be raising that baby by yourself. Now, for some women, they're too far along, didn't know they were pregnant, and a baby's here. And now they have to raise this baby. Now, mind you, these are girls that are between the age of 8 years old to 22 that are in college. So, for young girls under the age of 22 to be having babies, we don't never talk about it from that perspective. We talk about it as if women are after 22 that basically essentially graduated, been in their careers, got married, made their own choices, and that is not what happened at all in any of these situations. Most of these were young girls that had children after the first time they had sex when they lost their virginities. Not only that, you have a lot of men that prey on young girls that be messing with they stepkids and their mama's boyfriend messing around with their daughters. But we don't want to talk about it from that perspective now, do we? If y'all gonna talk about something, please talk about it fully for what it is. If you look at the statistics, it is more young girls having babies than grown women. Most of these young girls come into adulthood with kids. So all of this, women made their own choice, y'all, that nonsense? No. Young girls basically dated a guy, a young boy, who they thought really wanted to be with them. Because we promote relationships in junior high, elementary, and high school, and college. We promoted that. And that's how these girls end up getting pregnant. Just like y'all talk about Savannah James and y'all saying the fact that her and LeBron are together after all these years. That's the luck of the draw, though. But how many times has there been rumors about him cheating? Now, Savannah, I love you, girl, but I got to use you as an example. Savannah and LeBron have been together a long time. Savannah is just now doing what Savannah want to do. But guess what? She's now doing what she want to do. Why? Because her kids are, her daughter is almost grown. But it wasn't until her daughter became a teenager that she's now doing what she want to do. And not only that, she got family support, and LeBron is in the NBA. But what would have happened if LeBron didn't go into the NBA? What would have happened then? Ayesha Curry and Stephen Curry. If Stephen didn't go into the NBA, would Ayesha have 4 kids right now? What if it would have been the opposite? She had all these kids and he didn't go into the NBA, or he got hurt. Then what? She'd have been stuck. So you have some people, it's the luck of the draw. It just so happened that they married a man that basically essentially was going to be successful. If you look at Michael Jordan's ex-wife, She had 3 kids by that man. Three by that man. And they got divorced because of infidelity issues. But yet and still, let's talk about all the girls in the industry that now get all these kids. You got that one girl that's trying to get money when he told her he did not want her to have that baby. Had the baby anyway. He gave her a lump sum of money. She's still trying to get more money. My thing is, if he gave her that money, she shouldn't be able to go back to court. That should have been something where his lawyer should have said that basically, essentially, once you get this money, ain't no more getting no more money. Because she's not going to put it towards that kid. And there are a lot of women in the NBA that got kids by these men and in the industry that ain't putting that money towards them kids. They putting it toward themselves. Now, mind you, you got people like, India Love not India Love, there's 2 Indias. There's the India that's married to Young Dirt, and she's only been with 2 guys, I think. That was it. And then you have India Love, who out here looking for love. And then you got people like Selena and all these other people. So like I said, there are different types of women. Some of them have kids for the bag. Some of them have kids because they were by somebody that was a family member or their mama boyfriend or some of that nature. Or a young boy that gets a teacher pregnant or an older woman pregnant or daddy's girlfriend pregnant, that stuff. And then you have the girls that let these dudes convince them that if they pull out, they ain't gonna get pregnant. Or the ones that been in long-term relationships and they think they're gonna get married and they have kids. And then lastly, the ones that were actually on birth control and there might have been a defect or the condom broke or the condom got stuck and they got pregnant. So there are different categories for how these things happen. So the first thing you got to talk about is what category does each female are they in? Because there are a lot of females that did not want to get pregnant. But because they either listen to some boy saying, if you love me, you'll have sex with me. And if I pull out, you ain't going to get pregnant. Or you do have women that are out here trapping these dudes. I'm not going to lie. There are females out here that are doing that. But in the end, it's not just this black and white of somebody making the wrong choice. There's a rhyme or reason why. So you can't just say every woman decided, okay, I'm just going to get pregnant. No. And I only had one. I didn't have no more. That was it. That was all. But there are other women that keep having babies. Every man they with, they get pregnant. But see, then again, it falls on men. You're the ones that skeet. You the one that inseminate stuff. So you the one got to decide, is this the woman that you want to inseminate in? Is this the one that you want to have sex with and get her pregnant? That's a man's choice. So instead of people saying it's women, no, it ain't. It's men's choices. Because there's many women that have more than one child by more than one baby daddy. That should tell you something. So yeah, these men want you to have these babies. Majority of them do. But they don't want to take care of them. They want you to take care of them. They don't want the responsibility. A lot of them, like I said, if they break up, they'll bring somebody else in to help them raise their kids. And that's why I don't think any woman that has no kids should be with a man that got kids. I don't. I think that women that don't have kids should be with men that don't have kids. Because if they can do that to their baby mama, that means they can do it to you. If they can do what they did to their ex-wife, that means they can do it to you. At least a woman that got kids ain't got to worry about not having no more kids. So like I said, do men actually even know why they want to be fathers? Because majority of y'all don't. So that's just my thoughts on this subject.